Viva Eff Viva! Viva Eff Viva! Long live the Commander-in-Chief Julius Selo Malema, long live! Long live the Commander-in-Chief Julius Selo Malema, long live! Maibuye! Maibuye! Africa! Africa unite! Africa unite! Africa unite! Forward with expropriation of land without compensation, forward! Forward with expropriation of land without compensation, forward! Forward with nationalization of banks and mines, forward! Forward with nationalization of banks and mines, forward! Amandla! Gawe, 2. Thank you very much, fighters. We are now going to start our program. In fact, continue with our program that we started at the Union Buildings. And now I'm going to call upon the provincial chairperson of Gauteng to come and welcome all the fighters that are here today. And please come forward and greet and welcome our fighters. Thank you.
Amandla! Amandla! Phansi nge-GNU phansi! Phansi nge-ANC phansi! Phansi nge-DA phansi! Long live the EFF, long live! Long live the Commander-in-Chief Julius Selo Malema, long live! Long live the EFF in Gauteng, long live! Long live the EFF in Tshwane, long live! Long live the EFF in Soshanguve, long live! Long live the EFF in Hammanskraal, long live! Long live the EFF in Garankuwa, long live! Long live the EFF in Hammanskraal, long live! Long live the EFF in Atteridgeville, long live! Long live the EFF in Atteridgeville, long live! Amandla! Hawe 2! No, thank you very much, National Chair Ngithanduk Bingelela, the Commander-in-Chief, the officials of the EFF here. Ngibingelele members of the Provincial Command Team, Ngibingelele all the Sub-Regional Interim Leadership Corps, along with the ground forces of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Commander-in-Chief, before you are people who support the Economic Freedom Fighters here in the city of Tshwane. They are here to reaffirm their position for their love for the Economic Freedom Fighters. Ngoba begu who were leading the EFF who said, "Ayinga hambi VAT increase nge 16%. They are here to say to you, siyabonga mongameli, bakhona lana, bagcwele from all corners of the city of Tshwane to make sure that the EFF voice and that the voice that you advocate for is firmly placed in the hearts and the mind of the people of Tshwane. They are here because they understand that the EFF here, even with their 2 MMCs, they are leading government. That's why as you are walking through the city, Commander-in-Chief, you would have witnessed that noma sibaningi sigcwele, the streets are clean because the EFF is governing waste management here in the city of Tshwane. So you are welcome. You are welcome, Commander-in-Chief. There are no enemies of the EFF here. Everyone who is here is a lover of the EFF. Everyone who is here is the lover of the Commander-in-Chief. Everyone who is here is a voter of the EFF. Amandla! Away two.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Halala, Tswane, halala. Halala, Tswane, halala. Amandla. Fighters, we are now going to call the leader of the Youth Command, the interim leader of the Youth Command. And iti lombuto uqalwe ngabantu abasha. Ngoko asikwazi into bana sivale singakhange sibabize bazothetha nolutsha. Iza ngaphambili Sihlelonzi uzokhuluma nabo.
Amandla, Gawe, two. Long live the EFF Youth Command, long live. Long live the EFF Youth Command, long live. Futek ANC, Futek. Futek TA, Futek. Futek MK, Futek. Long live the Commander-in-Chief, long live. Long live the Commander-in-Chief, long live. Thank you very much, National Chairperson. We want to take this opportunity to greet the Commander-in-Chief and President, together with the officials, the commissars who are here, the PCT members, and all the sub-regional leaders, as well as the ground forces and leaders of the EFF Youth Command, who came from all campuses here in Tshwane to demonstrate their love and undying support for the EFF. Anyone who said the EFF is dying, just tell them to look at what the EFF did today in the streets of Tshwane. We painted it red. We are not fighting them in Parliament alone. We are also fighting them in the streets of Tshwane, in the streets of Treasury, in the streets of South Africa. Commander-in-Chief, the EFF Youth Command is leading the struggles of young people in all communities and campuses in South Africa. Members of the Youth Command, you must know that the EFF has presented a student debt cancellation bill in Parliament so that all the debts of students can be cleared with immediate effect. The student debt cancellation bill also says all the students and young people in South Africa whose certificates are withheld by the university, by the TVET colleges with immediate effect, they must be released. All young people must be showered with certificates, with their degrees and with their qualifications. The EFF is at the fore, the son of Kwetemantashe, and said, Kwetemantashe, South Africa doesn't belong to you. The monies of South Africa don't belong to you. They must be shared by everyone in South Africa. We don't have a problem with the children of ANC politicians and ministers. Our fight with them is not personal, but we have a problem with favoritism. We have a problem with nepotism. We have a problem if the children of ministers and ANC politicians must jump the line when young people in South Africa are unemployed. If we are unemployed, even the child of Cyril Ramaphosa must be unemployed. If we are hungry, even the child of Gwede must be hungry. If Asinami is 70, even the child of Malula must not get a job. We're tired of politicians eating whilst the youth of this country remains hungry. They first started with Jacob Zuma when he put all his children to eat the tenders of government. They then came with Cyril Ramaphosa through Bosasa where he put his children to eat the money of government. Now that big stomach Kwetemantashe wants to join the gravy train. Yahana, Asifumi, we're never going to allow it. Youth Command continue to champion the struggles of young people all over South Africa. don't only organize students, don't only organize in campuses. Youth Command, the ANC Youth League is dead. There is no MK Youth League. There is no DA Youth League. The youth of South Africa relies on you. Never give up on the struggle. Don't listen to negativity. Defend the EFF. Fight for the EFF. Amandla! Gawetu! Chikijela Mdomcha! Chikijela! Chikijela Mdomcha! Chikijela! Thank you, Chair.
Forward with the EFF Student Command, forward. Forward with the EFF Student Command, forward. Maibuye, Africa. Thank you very much, Mdomcha. Klina, Mdomcha, Klina. Klina, Mdomcha, Klina. Thank you very much, Sihle Siakub. We are now going to call upon the DSG to come and introduce the leadership of the EFF.
Dumalang Gauteng, Dumalang. Forward economic freedom in our lifetime, forward. Long live the economic freedom fighters, long live. Hoza 2025, Hoza. So my job is easy. It's introducing the leadership that you elected in the 3rd National People's Assembly. We also have our former officials that are here today as well, but she's hiding here, our former DSG. Amanda, DSG. Our Treasurer General, Commissar Ompile Maote.
Mandla! Amandla! Aykhole EFF Tshwane, aykhole. Aykhole EFF Johannesburg, aykhole. Aykhole EFF Sidibeng, aykhole. Aykhole EFF Westland, aykhole. Amandla! Thank you very much, DSG, Commander-in-Chief, officials, commissars, fighters, ground forces. We are here today to celebrate victory because we went to fight in Cape Town and fight until we won the battle against the VAT increase. Commander-in-Chief, we sit in that committee, the Standing Committee on Finance. When we told Godongwana on the 19th of March, VAT, he thought we were playing. We went back to the committee president. There were stakeholders that came to present. 98% of the stakeholders told Godongwana, Arenya VAT increase, even if in nearly 0.5 or 0.1, Aribatli VAT. Treasury and Godongwana, they ignored us. We went back to the committee president, Rabala Mulao, because Rona, Rabal Rafunda, upstairs Erna Libraini. So the Domkopata ANC, they thought they still had the majority. They can bully us into agreeing to a VAT increase. With our 9% commander-in-chief, we rejected the VAT increase. Retwery committee ela the whole day. Retwery the bull by its horns. Asindao, asifuni le VAT. Rabuya president. Rangwala speaker, chairperson ola wa hawa dom kopo ANC, wa ipitsan doctor. Aretse mo krele ka dipampiri tsa bo doctor because ha ba le molao. Tsamaiso ha ya tsamaya pila ka mo committee. Ka jalo, don't allow for this report to come and sit in the house. The speaker with the arrogance agreed to listen to the report. Even in parliament, inside the house, we told them that we don't want the VAT increase, but most importantly, the law was not followed to the latter. We went out of parliament, President, after writing to the speaker who ignored us. The DA came trolling behind us. They stole our content. If you listen, if you read the letter of the DA, is the EFF letter with a better English. Because they have another graph from England. President. But the bottom line is they stole our content. After the house sitting, DA ran to court before us. We're still consulting with our lawyers. The DA still took our content and ran to court. But the most important thing, President, is that the DA was not fighting for the VAT increase. The DA is fighting for the powers of the minister. It is the EFF that went to court and fight against the VAT increase. President, our prayer in the papers of court were to say, court, do not agree with the minister to increase the VAT. And the court said, EFF, you are right. The VAT should not be increased on the 1st of May. That's why we are here, President. Re ra leboga EFF for fighting gore batho ba rona ba ske ba tsela tšhelete ke the GNU government. President, ra boela hape on Wednesday. Re utlwela Godongwana a re botsa di nonsense. We'll never agree with an austerity budget. So we're warning the GNU already because John Steenhuisen goes around saying they've reached a deal with GNU on austerity measures. We're going to continue to fight. Even if there's only 2 of us, Nalu Commissioners now in that committee, we will fight with everything we have to block the austerity measures that will be tabled by the Minister. Mandla!
Yabonga TG. And then our national chairperson, who is also our chief whip in parliament, and make sure that we are holding that GNU executive accountable. Commissar Nontando Nongchulu.
Thank you for Amandla. Amandla. Maibuye. Maibuye. Thank you very much, TG, TSG. Fighters. We are here today to celebrate our victory on the VAT issue. But this is a big victory, but the road is very long. We still have a long way to go. And in order for us to get to the finishing line, we need your support. It is therefore very important for all of us gathered here today to go home, go to our neighbors, go to our friends, go to our colleagues at work, and inform them that the road is long. If you look at other countries, if you look at what is happening at Burkina Faso, they have started implementing the cardinal pillar of the EFF, of nationalization of mines. So we are saying, wake up, South Africa. We have been telling you what is the right way to do things, but animameli nilinda abanye abantu benze izinto ezithethwa nge-EFF abangekho la eMzantsi Afrika. Ngalo mazwi kunini fighters ndifuna ukuthi don't be discouraged by the 9%. You can see what we are doing in parliament with the 9%. You can see what we are achieving with the 9% that we have. Amandla! Amandla! Viva EFF, viva!
Thank you, National Chair and Chief Whip. Down with VAT, down. Forward with the victory of the economic freedom fighters, forward. President, officials, fighters, we must never ever underestimate what we have achieved in Parliament through this VAT victory. But let us remember that there's many wars for us to win. President, there was a resolution, President, if you remember, that we must shut down the Israeli embassy. Every programming meeting, our whippery is there asking, when is the Israeli embassy being shut down? It's not. Palestinian children are being murdered daily. We see it on our TV screen. We have a government that is not implementing a resolution of Parliament. So, President, I don't know what we need to do. Do we have to go to court again? Must we go to the streets again? Because it can't be that we pass resolutions in Parliament and we still do not have the Israeli embassy shut down. And that resolution was passed last year. Last year, a resolution was also passed that the Parliament must set up a joint committee to deal with the issue of child rape in school. It cannot be that year after year the Department of Social Development, Health and Education, they come and report about 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds that are pregnant. and they just report. Where is the South African police? Where is the National Prosecuting Agency? Where are our courts? The children are pregnant. It means that there is a baby. It means that there's DNA. But must I tell you what's happening with our forensic labs? This fake budget that they presented just recently now to the South African, to the Portfolio Committee, they want to cut funding by 26 million for us to fix those labs, because those labs are in a dilapidated state. So not only does it deal with DNA evidence for rape, but for murders and anything else that we are fighting against crime here in this country. But you know how much they want to increase the budget for ministers and deputy ministers? I even wrote it down here because I forget numbers. 63 billion increase to run one minister and 2 deputy ministers. So as the EFF, we are going to continue fighting. There are many wars. Let's stay on the streets. Let's continue in parliament. Let's continue in courts. Abandla! Secretary General Marshall Dlamini.
Amandla! Viva EFF, viva! Viva EFF, viva! Down with VAT, down! Down with VAT, down! Thank you very much, DSG. Greetings to the President, the leadership and the ground forces of our movement here in Tshwane. President, we are coming here to celebrate victory because we have managed to drop this VAT down. But President, the ultimate victory for the economic freedom fighters is the return of our land. That is where we will stop fighting. This is just a small victory. We want our land back. So this Expropriation Act of 2024 that was signed by Ramaphosa, that is irritating Donald Trump, it's not the one. Because that Expropriation Act, it's saying it's in line with Section 25 of the Constitution. That Section 25 of the Constitution, it says land must be expropriated, but up to 1913. By 1913, racists and white people, they already took 93% of the land, and blacks were left with only 7%. So this Expropriation Act, Section 25, all of them, they must fall. We want expropriation of land without compensation to be under the custodian of the state. So fighters of Tshwane, fighters of Mamelodi, Soshanguve, Atteridgeville, the message is clear. When you see any unoccupied land, go and occupy that land until all our land has been returned back to the owners of our land. Amanda! Amanda! Viva EFF, viva! Viva EFF, viva! Amanda!
Long live the Secretary General Marshall Dlamini, long live. And our Deputy President, who is also the head of the GTU, Commissar Gottfried Gadi.
Thank you very much, TSG. Greetings to our President, the officials, the ground forces and our public representatives, the voters and members of the community with us here today. We hope, President, this rally, this march is being carried live by the media. We hope Donald Trump can see that we are seated next to a white lady. There is no genocide in South Africa against the whites. So this is a living proof which we must tell, and Donald Trump must know, and Cyril Ramaphosa, as he goes to USA, he must be able to tell that, look, don't make us funny in South Africa. We are good people. We stay together with our colonizers, the only country in the world that was colonized, and today it is still with the colonizers as our neighbors. We share the same schools, we share the same towns, but here today we are saying, thank you, EFF. There is no VAT increase. The ANC in the 90s, they led such big marches in Pretoria and Joburg, fighting against the introduction of VAT. We only had what used to be called general sales tax before. And when VAT was introduced,
The ANC were the first people to come to the streets. But today, they are the people who are increasing VAT so that they can steal all the money. Mashodu. Pansi nga GNU, pansi. Pansi nga ANC, pansi. Long live EFF, long live. Was a local government election 2026? Was a local government 2026? Was a long live Commander-in-Chief, long live. We have come to the point now wherein we are going to get Umkombandlela. President, South Africa, Africa and the world are waiting to hear you why we are here. We know we are here to thank the EFF, but we know that you have in your laptop, in your speech, in your file, a message that you have brought to this place where we are. Comrade President, the world is waiting, South Africa is waiting. Thank you very much, President.
Amandla. Viva EFF, viva! Viva EFF, viva! Thank you very much, fighters and the ground forces of the EFF, the leadership of the EFF, and members of the media, the staff from Treasury. We want to thank you for your discipline, and we hope that even when we leave here, there will not be a single paper left on the ground, because this city belongs to the EFF, and we must look after it to demonstrate to the entire country that EFF has got capacity to govern. So we can only do that by leading by example. Comrades, I'm not here to speak. I spoke to you earlier. The TG who sits in the committee on finance is going to read the memorandum to the Treasury. But our demands are very simple. We want the Reserve Bank to belong to South Africa if we want to guarantee the sovereignty of South Africa. Why do we have private shareholders in the Reserve Bank? We are here to say, why is our data expiring? But the phone is not expiring, but the data is expiring. So we don't want data to expire. We don't want airtime to expire. I must buy 100 rand airtime and I must decide when to use it. There shouldn't be a fool somewhere deciding on when I should use the data. This data, you students are using it to do research. You, the unemployed youth, are using it to search for jobs. We are not asking for luxury. We met with MTN and we told them we don't want this thing of data expiring and airtime. We equally want them to reduce the money for data because it is more expensive in South Africa compared to other countries. This treasury is the one that is running South Africa. They are the ones who decide where to put money. They have not been putting money in massive infrastructure. They have not been putting money in projects that are going to create jobs and grow the economy. Our economy has been growing with 1% because of the treasury saying we must put in place measures that are going to cut money. And that money they cut from essential services, from the things that serve black people. They cut money in education, they cut money in health, they cut money in police. You know, there was a by-election in 24 in Soweto. And then one of the voting stations is a barracks. That's where police stay.
It's a voting station. It has got 400 registered voters. Out of 400, only 130 voted. Of the 130 people who voted, 118 policemen and their wives voted for the ANC this past Wednesday. 118 policemen in uniform. They don't have toilets in their police stations. They are not well looked after. They are paid peanuts. They still vote for a party that pays them peanuts. But they must know we don't hate them for that. At least they expose their stupidity. But we will continue to fight for them so that they get better salaries. In the same barracks, and you can't tell if that thing is a police station. The grass is long, hiding the building. That's where they work. No one is cutting the grass. The same police still vote for the ANC. Sometimes you just watch and ask yourself, are we really, really normal? Why? You can't say policemen can't read. You can't say they are illiterate. They are voting for food parcels. They are not getting food parcels. They can read. And what is worse about police? Some of you say police is matric. Police is not matric. For you to be a police after matric, you must go to a police college. That is a post-matric qualification. Highly learned. Yet, vote in an illiterate manner. And you ask yourself, where does this country go to? We want the planning powers of our country to be removed from treasury. It must be a decision of politicians as to what are we going to do this year. And the treasury must just take out the money and finance what the politicians have said they are going to do this year. On Wednesday, we are going to listen to another lie. There will not be a plan to create jobs. There will not be a plan to grow the economy. There won't be money to give to Transnet. There won't be money to give to state-owned enterprises. They want to privatize them so that we can be unemployed. PRASA, Transnet, ESCOM, and all those state institutions that are owned by government, they were created to create jobs for white Afrikaners. Now that our white Afrikaners have gone to America, but we must close those things and not give them money so that you cannot get jobs. You need to ask yourself, what is a big infrastructure here in Tshwane that government is building? There is no any big project in Tshwane that is presided by government. And then where do you expect to get jobs if there is no project that must create jobs? Which factory has been opened? Which minerals are being beneficiated here in South Africa? Nothing. Yet you say you are going to create jobs. The only thing the ANC celebrate is that SASSA they give to our people and the 350 because they think they can buy you. You must take the 350 and vote for the EFF because that money does not belong to the ANC. Fighters, let's go back and launch branches. Let's make sure that branches of the EFF are strong. Branches of the Youth Command are strong so that we can continue to fight these things I'm telling you about. Donald Trump knows very well that there is no white Afrikaner who's being killed in South Africa. It's a lie. Even if they come and kill us, it will remain a lie because no one is being killed in South Africa. The white killings I've seen is white people killing each other, partners, for inheritance. There is no black people who are killing white people as a political statement that we are now going to kill whites. There is no organization that represented that. The threat came from the FNB Stadium. When they saw EFF 10th anniversary, they started shaking, started working on a plan on how are we going to kill the EFF. They wanted to kill it on the 29th of May. Money came out after those rallies. Everything. Songa Zivi, he gets formed today. The following day he's got money to send SMSs. Don't vote EFF. He has no reason why. He was formed to come and stop the EFF. All of them, they get money from white capital which wants to kill the EFF. If you are destroying a branch of the EFF during the launch, you are working with Songezo Zibi, you are working with the Ruperts, you are working with white monopoly capital to destroy our organization, the organization of the poor, of the poorest. Student debt can't be cancelled if there is no EFF. Our children will not get enough money if there is no EFF. Gogos will continue to pay for water and electricity if there is no EFF. So do not destroy the branches of the EFF. Build the EFF, because when you build the EFF, you are defending the future, and that future belongs to your children. We don't care about ourselves now. We are marching now so that our children cannot march next year because we have done the job for them. We want our children to inherit a functional country. Country ibodile. There is no department that functions well. There is no municipality that functions well. There is a municipality here called Madibeng. Kisakasi in and out. This nonsense is going to be stopped next year when you vote for an EFF candidate to come and represent the poor of the poorest. And in the EFF, when opportunities to Tamaya, who divided the branch unana rutova cancelar. In the EFF, there are no PR lists. There are no PR candidates. There are ward candidates. And then the PR will come from the ward candidates on the basis of their performance. If they lose a ward, but they got the higher number, then they become number one on the PR list. Alesato Jakabu PR, Rijaka or branch yawi a sevets na. A branch yawi sa sevets. Auna regional chairperson at outsenya. Arena di region, renali di sub-regional di branch. Sub-regions must supervise branches of Soshanguve, of Centurion. Branches tarena this one be functional branches. Arinyage motwa jiga mo aperi oversize or ake pinche kama roho. Arigena regional secretary. So renyaka lower structures that are going to function. Build the EFF, it will look after you. Look the EFF taking care of you with 9%. Imagine if you put 0 next to that 9%. What will happen to this country? What will happen to this continent? We are the only one who can liberate black people. We are here to tell Treasury we are unemployed because of you. Our economy is not growing because of you. You have turned yourself into a powerful institution. There is no institution that can be more powerful than the people. The power is with the people. The power belongs to the people, and we demand the people's budget. If it is not for the people, we don't want it. We want this treasury to get out of IMF and generate money, not money to be spent on servicing the debt, but money that is going to serve the ordinary people on the ground. Fighters, we are continuing the fight on Wednesday. If that budget is not what you want, then they should know there's going to be a fight in that parliament. We are not in parliament to nurse egos, to ask for favors, to be liked. We don't want positions in government. As long as we have a platform to speak for our people, we'll continue to speak for them. Whether they vote for us or not, we will fight for them because we love black people. Fighters, here is the TG.
Thank you, CIC. Economic Freedom Fighters Memorandum to the National Treasury, 19 May 2025. We, the Economic Freedom Fighters, acting on behalf, Madam, please come close to me. Ke Melora Mseme, ke Lekgwala rena, ke tlhogo ya office ya DG, Dr. Duncan. We, the Economic Freedom Fighters, acting on behalf of millions of the unemployed, economically suffocated, landless, indebted, and structurally excluded working class majority of South Africa, have come to the National Treasury, the very center of economic policy formulation and fiscal control, to register our total rejection of austerity, our resolute opposition to the increase in VAT, and our demand for a complete transformation of the fiscal policy. The EFF is leading this mass action because South Africa is on the verge of collapse, and it is the National Treasury that has for 3 decades engineered and forced and now intensified this collapse under the pretense of fiscal consolidation, budget discipline, and market confidence. South African economy has not grown by more than 1% per annum for over a decade. There is no coherent, credible, or macroeconomic plan from the National Treasury to suggest that this is going to change. Every budget speech in the past 10 years has been a list of failed predictions, false optimism, and austerity. The Minister of Finance now admits what we have long warned, that austerity has failed, yet the same logic is repeated: cut spending, weaken the state, increase regressive taxes like VAT, and protect the rich and the powerful. The minister confirmed the loss of over 9,000 doctors in the public health system due to budget constraints. Across provinces, schools could not fill vacancies at the beginning of 2025. Police stations are collapsing, operating in rented facilities at exorbitant costs, while our defense and military capabilities are in terminal decline. This is the outcome of a budgetary framework designed to serve the financial sector and not the people. The social consequences of the National Treasury's budgetary and economic policy choices are not theoretical. They are felt daily by the vast majority of South Africans, particularly by the black working class, who carry the heaviest burden of unemployment, poverty, and structural exclusion. Today, South Africa sits with over 12 million unemployed people, the overwhelming majority of whom are black and under the age of 35. These are not people who are unwilling to work. They are people who have been deliberately shut out of the economy by a policy regime that privileges capital over labor, speculation over production, and fiscal restraint over inclusive development. Even those with post-matric qualifications, young people who have followed the script and pursued education in the hope of employment, are faced with the grim reality of lifetime unemployment. The economy simply does not produce the kind of jobs they were promised, and the few available opportunities are concentrated in racialized networks and elite spaces to which most black youth are denied access. This situation has created a generation of structurally excluded people whose potential contributions to society and the economy are wasted, while the National Treasury continues to cut budget under the false guise of stability. The result is a deep psychological and emotional crisis. Debt levels have reached unsustainable proportions, with more than half of credit-active South Africans being over-indebted. One of the clearest examples of this systemic cruelty is the manner in which the state, under National Treasury's guidance, continues to punish black students and graduates with the burden of historical student debt. Thousands of black graduates, having completed their degrees academically, are unable to receive their certificates because they are blacklisted over fees. This prevents them from entering regulated professions that require formal registration, such as engineering, architecture, and geology. It is for this reason that even in the face of crisis, white graduates continue to dominate high-skilled professional spaces, while their black counterparts, equally qualified, are locked out, forced into underemployment, or permanently displaced from their fields of study. This is not an oversight. It is a deliberate structural inequality upheld by the failure to cancel student debt and the refusal of the National Treasury to fund education as a public good. Beyond the crisis of work and education lies the broader reality that over 65% of South Africans cannot cover their basic monthly expenses, including rent, food, transport, and school fees. Yet, despite this mass impoverishment, the National Treasury continues to implement policies that protect the wealthy and punish the poor, raising VAT while leaving corporate taxes untouched, slashing public service posts while banks announce record profits, and insisting that there is no money while billions are paid in debt service to global financiers. The National Treasury's policy regime is not neutral, and it is not failing by accident. It is succeeding in its real mission to protect elite interests, preserve white economic power, and maintain the colonial structure of the South African economy. It is for this reason that the EFF demands an end to this unjust regime and the implementation of a people's budget that puts human dignity, racial justice, and structural transformation at the center of economic planning. We come with a clear message: transform or face permanent revolt. These demands are non-negotiable. They represent the minimum conditions for a people's budget and a sovereign developmental state. We demand: 1, transformation of the leadership, senior management, and strategic functions of National Treasury. 2, reverse budget cuts and increase funding to the public health system, basic education, policing, and military infrastructure. These are not bailouts, they are investments in state capacity and sovereignty. 3, reject the ideological refusal to fund state-owned entities. National Treasury must finance the recovery of strategic entities like Transnet, PRASA, DINEL, and ESCOM. This must be paired with strict anti-corruption and anti-capture mechanisms, including parliamentary oversight and community boards. 4, draft budgets must reflect the will and needs of the people. This means employment of doctors, nurses, teachers, police officers, and soldiers. Build public infrastructure driven by the state, not outsourced to tenders. Increased allocations to housing, food security, and sanitation. 5, immediate cancellation of historic student debt. Fund all undergraduate students and support postgraduate studies for all students. 6, legislate a progressive tax on high net worth individuals and luxury land holdings. Introduce an apartheid redress tax on inherited white wealth. Use revenues to establish a sovereign wealth fund to insulate the country from IMF dependence. 7, immediately legislate aggressive anti-avoidance laws. Crack down on transfer pricing and base erosion by multinational corporations, and build SARS capacity to recover billions hidden in tax havens. 8, raise the equitable share for municipalities from the current 9.5% to at least 14%. Conditional grants must support the insourcing of workers, municipal infrastructure renewal, and reliable service delivery in distressed towns and cities. 9, we reject the 2025 VAT increase, which unfairly burdens the poor. Instead, we demand a wealth tax, a luxury land tax, and an apartheid redress tax, uninherited wealth to ensure that the rich pay their fair share and the economy is made just. 10. Cancel the privatization of essential services, water boards, state-owned entities, and core infrastructure. 11. End the policy capture of the state by international financial institutions, IMF and the World Bank. All new loans must be tabled in Parliament before being signed. 12. We demand an immediate investigation into exorbitant bank charges which exploit grant recipients, workers, and the unemployed, and serve only to enrich financial institutions at the expense of the poor. 13. Force telecommunications companies to end data and airtime expiry policies that exploit the working class. Regulate the sector to align with public interest. The National Treasury is not a neutral institution. It is a contested side. Today, it stands on the side of financial capital, privatization, and anti-black austerity. We are here to say no more. South Africa cannot be governed by accountants. We cannot build an industrial economy with Excel spreadsheets and IMF loan agreements. We cannot end poverty while we continue to write laws for banks and cut services for the poor. The National Treasury's power must be returned to the people through Parliament, through democratic mobilization, and through a state that understands its revolutionary obligations. We are not here to negotiate our humanity. We are here to ask nicely. We are here to say that the working class majority of this country will no longer subsidize the comfort of the rich. We give the National Treasury 30 days to respond to these demands. Failure to respond will result in intensified mass action, litigation, and targeted protests against the architects of economic oppression. The suffering of the people is not a burden, it's not a budget item. It is a reality. If this National Treasury will not change, it must be changed by the power of the people. Commander-in-Chief is going to sign the memorandum. Afe mewa lukhoa wa rena Melora Mseme. Yena ki tlhogo ya the head of DG ka mo National Treasury. Le yena a sign hore ka nnete o kry-ile memorandum. Ho signa mo, ha se mo rava. Oh, signa mo, ha se mo rava. Oh, signa mo, ha se mo rava. Oh, signa mo. Angelis fighters, Elapil. Oh, signa mo. Oh, ase mo rava. Oh, signa mo. All right, Raleigh fighters, I have some few remarks on behalf of Dr. Duncan. Dr. Duncan is the DG of National Treasury. Melora.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. I'm Laura Mseme. I'm the head of the Office of the Director General of National Treasury. I'm here to represent the Minister as well as the Director General, who are both in Cape Town. This confirms receipt of your submission as well as requested an undertaking to submit it to the Minister of Finance. Thank you very much.
National Chair.
Thank you very much.
The call president must do a chant. We can't close without you.
No,
Must do a chant. We can't close.
no, he must.
Must go into a chant. We can't close without
Thank you very much, fighters. We are now going to call upon the Secretary of Gauteng to come and thank us. Thank you.
Amandla, awethu, viva EFF, viva! Viva EFF Region 1, viva! Viva EFF Region 2, viva! Viva EFF Region 3, viva! Viva EFF Region 4, viva! Viva EFF Region 5, viva! Viva EFF Bronx Parade, viva! Thank you very much, National Chair. Rata go leboga the Commander-in-Chief and President ya rena. Rata go leboga Deputy President, Secretary General, TG ya rena mme Omphilo Maotwe, DSG, our convener mo Gauteng mme Thembi Msani, the CCT member tša rena tše di tlilego mo go re thekga, sub-regional leaders, ground forces ka moka tšona, re a leboga ge le phethagetšitše morero wa lehono. Le rile batho le makgowa a kgonne gore bona lehono re batho. Re a leboga President, all bus coordinators, re itše re le Gauteng PCT ra re no, le ka se no tsamaya fela le a ka gae, jwale merwalo a lena lo e hwetša ka kua dibaseng. Ke senya ka go riatšo, ke a leboga.
Amandla! Amandla! Viva EFF, viva! I hule EFF, I hule! Tata EFF, tata! How no makuvi! Siaya! Siaya! No makuvi! Siaya! Siaya! No ma bese tubulas, besi shaya, besi bopa. No ma bese tubulas, besi shaya, besi bopa. Kubi kubio, siaya. Siaya, kubios, siaya, siaya. Who left? Who right? Yamasa. Who left? Kita, kilame, kiribata bata, tamarumo, rumo. Asicha, where were you when I'm clit? Where were you when I'm drumming? Sofa sketchy, emoye, sofa sketchy, etati, shoot to kill a man, shoot to kill, Yamasa, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer, brr pa, brr pa, tension.
DJ.